So I had been middle of pandemic. We were looking at the sextile owner community and how, as people were, social distancing and everybody was getting more remote, people were feeling this need for companionship and other humans with these dolls. And so we're talking to a bunch of these people. And then I found Chris on Instagram. He'd commented on a Real Doll post or something and looked at his profile and then just started talking to him and, gave him a call. And he's just been, his whole dream is to be like this pioneer, like breaking down the stigma about like sex doll ownership, AI companion relationships. And so he's just trying to like spread this message because he thinks, it made such an impact in his life that he'd love to just like spread the joy. And so he was just very willing to like have me over to his place, like show me around, meet all his friends, his family. And, couldn't have asked for a better subject. I mean, it's interesting because, I was like, oh my God, this guy would be perfect. He's so engaging. He's interesting. Like, how do I not screw this up? But I think he also was like really excited to like have a chance to do a doc and like, to get his message out there that it really didn't take much work. It was just kind of lucky that, we just found a good overlap and it worked for me, it worked for him. And, I think I told him what I was thinking about the project, what we were looking into, and I think he just knew that it wasn't going to be like, one of those tabloidy reality shows or anything like that. I think as far as like research, like into this topic, we're like looking into, it's, a very small minority of the population. Any media about it was just, pretty hokey, played for laughs, kind of just, tabloid, like freak show type situation. And so obviously we just wanted to do the complete opposite of that and really just study as like non-judgmentally as possible. Just like, just see what it's like spend some time with him. And then once you like meet him and, he's very gracious host and just talking to him is like very personable. And you spend some time with him and, there's like almost nothing to make fun of. He's almost like a friend or, just like one of the guys. And, I don't know, it just kind of worked itself out. At one point in the film, we were getting ready to go return to his house and, shoot some more with him. It had been a while. And, there was a storm and the roof literally blew off of his house. And, we're like, oh, we were just about to come and film and now he has no roof. But, we worked with that and it, made, it was an event in his life and I'm glad we were there for that. But then, the challenges, I think just making anything engaging when you're with, a guy in a small space for so long. How do you keep that engaging? How do you, how do you bring that to life and keep it active and fun? And then nobody in town wanted to talk to us, so there's that too. But yeah. Well, I mean, so with Chris, it's he himself will talk to a wall and do it very entertainingly. But I think it was everybody in this town seemed very just distrustful of like outsiders and especially ones with cameras. There's some kind of rumor going around his neighborhood that we were there to steal their license plate info or something because we were just trying to get all this money from them. So yeah, so, at that point, we're like, okay, well, maybe this isn't so much about the town. Maybe it's just more about Chris and, his roommate Jonah, who was also, I think, cautious at first and then saw what we were about. And he was cool and a great, collaborator. And then Chris's mom, who, she was just delightful. Feels amazing, when you spend so long on a film, in the edit room, you think a lot about, where it might premiere. And when it finally, we got into Edinburgh, got the email, it just felt so right and just like oddly appropriate. And, couldn't think of a better place to premiere this one in particular.